We have officially reached a point where women are demonizing men for wanting their own biological children. Like, do y'all understand how ridiculous that argument is? Like, this woman says men who only want biological children don't really want to be fathers.
My people, do you think this statement is correct, right, or wrong? She said that men that only want biological children are not ready to be fathers. What do you think? Men that don't, the only thing they want is they want their own biological children. Then they're not ready to be fathers. They don't want to adopt. They don't want to adopt. They just want it to be their flesh and blood, as they say. So they are not ready to be fathers. Do you think this statement is right or wrong? Because the men are pissed. The men are really angry with this and like, why would you be demonizing us, telling us that if because we want a child of our own, definitely we don't want to be fathers and all of that. You guys, I'd like to know your thoughts about this video. I will watch these videos together. Then I'll share my thoughts at the end of the video.
I was on set today with a man who, granted, very kind, very sweet, super nice guy, easy to hang out with. But the topic of children came up. And if you know me, I don't want children. I absolutely know for a fact, 1000%, I do not want children. You can't talk me out of it. And so I always love to talk to men that say they want to be fathers, okay? And he starts boasting about wanting to be a dad. He wants to do the messy part. Is it messy? He wants the loud, every part of it. I'm like, yeah, okay. I said, so you would want to adopt children if you never found the right partner? And he goes, no, they have to be my biological child.
So men who want biological kids don't really want to be fathers. Men who only want biological kids don't really want to be fathers. Says the woman who does not want kids. Says the woman who's boastfully, proudly announcing that she does not want kids.
So,
But yet you have a problem with a man who wants to have kids, want to be a father. In fact, the father that he never had. But he does not want to adopt. I want kids. I don't want to adopt no kid. Nor do I need to or have to. You're looking down on somebody and judging them because they don't want to adopt a kid. But you don't want kids. When has it become such a bad thing for a man to want his bloodline to continue? Who wants his own flesh and blood, wants to find a woman, settle down, and have a child with that woman. I'm trying to make sense of what you said, because it seems like you're helping society the least. You don't want to adopt and you don't want to have kids. He wants to have kids, just don't want to adopt. That's his preference. Why are you judging him for that? Coming on, what? Bro, stay childless and stay single. A child with your genes should not be, that type of stupidity should not continue. And two, no man should deal with that type of stupidity neither. And anybody in your comment section agreeing with that, they should also stay single and childless. Barren even.
Men who only want biological children don't really want to be fathers. Kevin Samuels used to say, shame, insult, guilt, and a need to be right. Sign language. If you ever notice, the ones who have made horrible decisions in their lives are the ones that normally try to shame you out of your standards so that way they can bring you down to a level that benefits them. In her video, she talked about a conversation that she was having with a guy. And the guy stated that he wanted to have the experience of raising a child, having his child. So for whatever reason, she said to the guy, oh, so that means you would be open to adopting children. And the guy said, no, I want them to be biologically mine, which is fine, right? At least you would think so. Her response to that was to say, oh, you're one of those guys. And get this, in the beginning of her video, she stated that she doesn't even want to have any kids. Which, again, you would think that's fine, right? No one is attempting to shame her because she doesn't want kids. But she wants to shame the man who wants to have biological children. Don't allow these losers to shame you out of your position, y'all.
We have officially reached a point where women are demonizing men for wanting their own biological children. Like, do y'all understand how ridiculous that argument is? Like, this woman says men who only want biological children don't really want to be fathers. Like, ladies, imagine you met a man that was a single dad, right? And you fell in love with him, had a great relationship. And then your biological clock starts ticking. And you tell him, I want a child. And he just says, hey, we already got one. You don't need your own. How pissed would you be with that response? Y'all would lose your minds. You would argue that it's not the same. You'd make a million different arguments right at the top of it. That child already has a mother. And talk to that man about how you want your own child, how you want a child that was birthed from you, how you want a child who is part of you. And you would be completely valid in that argument. That's why this argument is so stupid. But somehow this woman, who probably agrees with everything I just said, doesn't think that applies when it's a man. Like, ladies, there are a ton of men out there who, no matter how your biological clock is ticking, no matter how amazing of a mother you would be, they will not give you a child. They will not have a child and raise it with you. But now you're demonizing men who would. You're literally demonizing men who want to have a child with you, who want to raise a child with you, who want to be the best father in the world. And you guys are talking shit on them. Like, ladies, all I'll ask you is that if you see something like this, just change the gender for me and read it as women who only want biological children don't really want to be mothers. And if that statement sounds insane to you, congratulations, you're a normal human being.
No, they have to make my biological child.
Yeah, could be.
And then I was like, oh, okay, you're one of those.
Hey, man, what you mean I'm one of those, bro? Hey, like, no disrespect on any single parents, bro, out there, bro. I know it's hard out there. But this girl just said, if you don't want to take care of a stepchildren, you don't want to be a father, bro. What? Bro, like, a lot of dudes out there want to be a dad, but they don't want to be a dad to everybody, bro. Just like for me, I tell everybody this same shit. I want to settle down. I want to find love. I'm ready to be in a long-term relationship. That does not mean I want to settle down anybody. That does not mean I'm trying to be in a long-term relationship with anybody. Same thing here. I want to be a dad. I want to be a father. I don't want to be a father to anybody. I don't want to be dad to anybody. So if you're going to follow that, your logic, you got to date any man who comes up to you. If not, you don't want to actually want to date nobody for real.
I was on set today with a man who, granted, very kind, very sweet.
I never thought the day would come where we are trying to shame men who don't want to be fathers to your little crotch goblins. Because you popped your pussy back in the day. Now, if somebody doesn't want to be a stepfather to your children, we're shaming men like that? I don't care if you're a man or a woman. I always tell people, have your first child with somebody who will also be having their first child. Oh, Shaquille, you just saying that because you ain't got no kids. Kids deserve. I have a daughter. And I'm telling you, have your first kid with somebody who will also be having their first kid. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being a step parent, but you're not going to try to shame people into being a step parent to your kids. And then half y'all kids be bad as hell. You still be messing with your baby mama, your baby daddy. Bro, I'm telling you, have your first kid with somebody who will also be having their first kid. Why would you want that to be your new experience and this is their 20th experience because they got 20 kids by 10 different guys? No, bro. No.
So you would want to adopt children if you never found the right partner? And he goes, no, they have to be my biological child. And then I was like, oh, okay, you're one of those. And he's like, yeah, like I want to be the father that I never had. Okay, you're one of those.
At some point in time, we got to start telling people to shut up and just stand on that. You can also realize that the talking points when it comes to like relationships, datings, motherhood, fatherhood, family, structure, the talking points are starting to get stale because people kind of like this young lady right here, are starting to grasp at straws, if you will. They're starting to come up with some of the dumbest talking points you could ever establish, and try to recognize them as something that holds weight. Makes no sense. Don't look like taking care of somebody else, children. You can take care of them boy on your own. I ain't taking care of nothing that don't come out of my balls or don't come out of the ovaries of which woman I decide to put them in. I'm sorry. I don't know what you're talking about. And then if you check the comments, it's actually other women in there agreeing with this bullshit, saying, "Oh my God, men who don't want to adopt or take care of somebody else's kids is selfish." Why don't you ask the who made these kids to take care of them? And the immediate response would be, "Well, we're talking about adoption in a sense. That makes perfect sense. I'm not I'm not adopting a damn thing. The only thing I'm adopting is a couple $1,000,000 so I can go to Cancun for like a month and a half to see what that's all about." But in all seriousness, you can tell the talking points are getting like really stale, really like desperate to kind of make, rage bait type content or any type of whatever. Because this is probably one of the dumbest I've ever heard in my life. One of the dumbest things I've ever heard on TikTok. You're one of them. No, you're one of them. Oh, that's selfish.
What is really wrong with this man? Like, what is really wrong with them? Because as she said she's a child free by choice. She does not want to have children. She's not considering it. And she's having a conversation with another guy. And he's like, he want to have kids. And she's like, okay, definitely you can adopt or something. And he said, no, I want a child of my own. And she's like, you're not ready to be a father. If you're only waiting for you to reproduce by yourself for your own this thing, right? Then you're not ready to be a father. And these men are attacking her, saying, oh, you want me to adopt your children? I'm not going to be a stepfather. I'm not going to be a stepfather. What is really wrong with these men? Do they really understand what she's saying? Or they are just listening? I don't know, because that's not actually what she's saying. She does not have children. There's no children that you want to be the stepfather. She's child free. She's saying that if you really, really want to be a father, you really want to be a dad, definitely you should adopt a child. And they are pissed off about it. But the thing is, are these men really the ones that say, I want to be a father, I would like to have a family? Do they really take care of their children? The ones that they give birth to? Their real biological children? Are they really the father of those children? Or they just want to continue their legacy, as they usually say. They want to continue their bloodline, right? So most of them feel like, I just want to have children to continue this bloodline. They're not having kids because they really want, or they really know what it takes to be a father. Most of them they don't even know what it takes to be a father to start with. So my own is, if you really know what it takes to be a father, you can father any child. So I don't see anything wrong, because if you're waiting for you to have a child, what if you cannot? Or what if your woman cannot? Okay, you got married to a woman that cannot. Or you guys keep trying, it's not working. And you know that you're gonna be a good father, you're gonna be a good dad. So you guys are not going to adopt. Is that what you're saying? Or you go and sleep with another woman outside because you want to be a good dad. Or what if you cannot? Does it mean that it takes two to have a child? What if you cannot? And you use all the medications and everything. It's not working. So what are you going to do? And you know that you're going to be a good dad. You know that you're going to be a good father to whatever child you have. So are you telling me you're not going to adopt? Or if your woman already has a first child in her first marriage, or children in her first marriage, you're not going to accept those children. You're going to wait for the one that comes from you. What is wrong with this man? Like, really? And the other one is trying to say, oh, we women read it the other way. Yes, women will be mothers to children that they are not is not their own. Have you not seen women that tell their husbands to go and bring the children of their side chick, and they will be the mother of those children? Nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to know that she's not the one that birthed those children. And when a woman said that she wants to have her own children, most women are talking about the whole pregnancy, carrying baby, breastfeeding. You know, when women are being, you know, proud about the whole pregnancy thing. Oh, I'm a mother of so, 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 and so. I went through labor. Some women just want to experience it. They just want to experience it. It's not like they actually want to be a mother or they understand what it takes to be a mother. Most of them don't even understand. They just feel like every woman passed through all of this. I should also pass through this. A real mom, a woman that likes children, that knows what it takes to be a mother, can be a mother to any child. So you as a father, as a dad, or as a man, if you want to be a good father, or you know that you're going to be a good father, you can be a father to any child. Any child. Your child, anybody's child, your woman's child. If your woman already has a child, you're going to be a good dad to that child because you're a good father. You already have that qualities and you're improving to, you're working on yourself to have that quality. So I don't see a problem with it, actually. I don't see a problem with it. You guys, what's your take on this video? Kindly share your thoughts down in the comment section. Respectfully, as always, your girl Maria David, and thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like and share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.